Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Kingdom. Your boy's back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the crazy stuff that happened this past week. Of course, we have a lot to discuss. We had Nintendo's big direct that happened in the middle of the week and showed up a bunch of new games and some DLC content coming in the upcoming year and going into next year as well. We're also going to be talking about Starfield and its controversy behind the game and what's been going on with that. And of course, being it said, we also got Sonic the Hedgehog's 32nd anniversary. Of course, happy birthday to Sonic the Hedgehog. Without further ado, let's get it going. Strap back, relax, enjoy the ride, and guess what? The king is speaking. Business I wanted to jump into is congratulate Sega and its great character Sonic the Hedgehog and having its 32nd birthday. I'm actually older than Sonic the Hedgehog, being down 33, but it's such a great time to see that Sonic the Hedgehog has made 32 years of just awesome and just fun-loving memories that I've had of playing Sonic the Hedgehog for all these years. I love Sonic. He's literally the main reason why I love video games to this very day. I've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog games since I was a little boy, and it's so amazing to see that he's lasted this long, and we're still getting some decent games. Of course, past couple years has been very kind to him, but we have recently just got Sonic Frontiers not too long ago. Sonic Origins Plus had just been released, of course, this past Friday, and of course we're getting a new Sonic Superstars game coming out supposedly October of this year because of a leak that has possibly happened. We're going to be touching base about that, but I wanted to just say congratulations to Sonic the Hedgehog of 32 great years, and of course being one of my favorite characters, I just wanted to say awesome. Thank you for all the memories, and I hope many more years to come. Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog, thank you guys, I appreciate y'all. Now, on to other news other than that, taking that crazy silly hat off my head. So, big things that have happened this past week. Of course, we had the Nintendo Direct. That was one of the biggest things that have happened this past week, and let me tell you something. Nintendo did not disappoint. Of course, it was such a great and just awesome event. It was about a 40-minute event, and we got the chance to see so many games getting released. We saw some news about DLC content and a bunch of other things, but in this one we're going to be just basically touching base on some of the biggest key points of the Nintendo Direct. Now, one of the biggest things that happened on the Nintendo Direct was the announcements of 2 Super Mario games that are going to be coming out this year. We're getting Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is a 2D Mario game, which pretty much plays, if you ever played any of the Mario games, of course, the 2D styles are always fun to play, and they showed up a bunch of different characters. We got to see Mario, we got to see Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Princess Daisy's also making her return into the series in some type of form and fashion, and we got a chance to see Yoshi. But some of the cool things about this one I think is going to be very, very interesting and kind of puts a new twist into the Mario world itself, is they're doing something called Wonder Flowers. And what these Wonder Flowers are going to be doing is that they make the world around you just completely change in all types of different ways. And in the trailer you get to see like all the pipes going all over the place. They change in different sizes. Mario's able to change his size in some type of way, and it causes the world to just go in complete possible chaos even because of these Wonder Flowers and everything. Now, the Power Stars, of course, are also been replaced by something called the Wonder Seeds, which is pretty much what you're going to be getting at the end of each level from what it sounds like. And we also got to see a brand new power-up where Mario turns into a giant elephant, which is actually a very unique little design they decided to turn and twist into. But overall, the game looks like it's going to be really, really fun. It's coming out October 20th of this year. I'm really excited about it. It's a fun-friendly game, and of course, those games, I mean, it's Mario. Who doesn't love a good Mario game nowadays? Also, now we also got news of another Mario game that's going to be coming out this year, and it's actually a remake of an old Super Nintendo classic called Super Mario RPG. Now, I played Super Mario RPG many years ago on the Super Nintendo, and I loved it from top to bottom. It was such a great game, and it pretty much had a new twist to what Mario games were at that time period. And of course, it basically was like the cornerstone or the platform to what some of the RPG games that we got now with Mario, similar to like the Super Mario games that we got, like Paper Mario. We also got Mario Superstars, which is Mario and Luigi having that kind of, that RPG element, turn-based style of gameplay. Well, this is what pretty much has launched that into this, and it's great to see that Super Mario RPG is making its triumphant return after all these years, and fans have been clamoring for it for a long period of time, and it looks like it's going to be true to life to what the original game was, but with a brand new 2D HD style, kind of similar to what the Live Alive game that we got not too long ago last year as well, and that was a great remake. If you never played Live Alive, please check that game out. It is absolutely just amazing. But we're also getting Super Mario RPG this year, and it's coming out November 17th. I'm really excited to see that game finally coming out as well. Also, a couple other announcements that we got from the Nintendo Direct. The biggest ones that we got, we also saw Detective Pikachu 2 getting an announcement coming into, actually beginning in October, excuse me. It comes out on October 6th. Detective Pikachu 2. Kind of funny to see that game is actually coming out because, of course, it's been kind of under wraps. A lot of people didn't know whether Detective Pikachu was going to be making a return, especially even into the movie scene. But it's nice to see that Detective Pikachu is coming back. We're actually getting a sequel to the original game that came out way back on the 3DS. We also got a chance to see Metal Gear Solid: The Collection Volume 1 coming to the Switch, and it's going to be literally 5 games all in one package, including a graphic novel. We're getting the original 2 Metal Gear games, and we're also getting the PlayStation 2 classics, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Now, these games were really influential to what the Metal Gear Solid franchise is, what it is today, and it's nice to see that these games are getting some type of love into, a new modern day fashion. Now, from what the reports are saying though, and a lot of people are kind of upset about this, but I mean, what do you expect? Apparently, the cartridge is not gonna have all of the games all on it, which I pretty much expected right from jump. These are not the biggest games in the world, but they do have to take up some space. So it sounds like you're going to be downloading quite a bit of the games onto your console, and the other games are going to be pretty much on the cartridge, which I can pretty much assume the original 2 games that were on the NES, the Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 games, are going to be on the cartridge, but the PlayStation 2 games are going to be pretty much downloads. So we'll see that coming into this year as well. That game will also be releasing on October 24th. Check that out when it gets released. We also saw WarioWare is making a comeback as well. We're getting a new game, WarioWare Move It. It will be launching on November the 6th. If you've never played the Wario games, let me tell you something. They are some of the weirdest games you're gonna possibly play in Nintendo's arsenal, but these are really fantastic games. You're gonna be seeing literally over 200 wild and just hilarious micro games into this one. This game, again, will be coming out on November the 6th. Check that out when it drops. We also saw news about Pikmin 4. We saw some new gameplay footage of how that game is going to look. Of course, Pikmin 4 is just right around the corner. It comes out July 21st. That game is going to be a pretty big stellar game for Nintendo to be dropping, of course, this year. It's their first party game. And of course, because we also got Pikmin, we also got some news about Pikmin as well, because the original 2 games, the first 2 back on the GameCube, are getting HD remakes that have officially launched on the eShop as of the day the Nintendo Direct went live. And we're also going to be getting September 22nd a physical drop for both the first and the second game. Of course, your boy's gonna get the physical collecting. I'm gonna get those. I'm a physical collector. I gotta get the game on physical. But those games will actually be coming out physically on September 22nd, so be on the lookout for that as well. We also saw some DLC content news coming out for Pokemon and for Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 is getting its Wave 5 release, of course, a booster pack that will be showcasing a new track so far that we've gotten, and we're also getting 3 new characters. We're getting Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek coming into the game as well. So it's nice to see that Mario Kart 8 is getting, some love still. And hopefully sooner or later down the line, we'll be hearing some news about Mario Kart 9. And we've been waiting for that for kind of a little bit of some time. Everybody's been really waiting to see and anticipating when Nintendo's gonna finally announce that Mario Kart 9 is getting a drop, but we're probably gonna see that on the next Switch whenever that comes out, or at least Nintendo's new console over time. So we'll see about that. And Pokemon's getting a DLC expansion pack talking about the Indigo Disc and the Teal Mask coming up in the Treasure of Area Zero expansion passes that will be coming to the game as well. If you haven't played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they are very good games. They were plagued with a lot of different glitches, of course, during the release of them. They have improved over time. They're also including some new Pokemon, of course. Hey, guess what? You got over 1,000 Pokemon. You gotta include some of these other guys. So we'll see what Pokemon come in over time. We'll see what happens. But we don't have an actual full-blown release date as of yet. But we will see when Pokemon finally decides to drop down and get that going on as well. Other gaming news through the Nintendo Direct, we got a chance to see Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon get an announcement talking about a remaster coming to the Switch. We will be seeing that in 2024, but it's nice to see that this game is getting a remaster. We did see Luigi's Mansion get a release back on the Switch, of course, but we're getting the Dark Moon, which was a 3DS exclusive title only, and it's getting a full-blown remaster, which is nice to see. But along with that news that when it dropped, we also got a chance to see Princess Peach getting her own game. Will also be coming out in 2024. Now, the last time we saw Princess Peach getting her own game in general, we saw her back on Super Princess Peach on the DS, which was many, many years ago. And it's cool to see Princess Peach getting the spotlight for a change, because, I mean, she's always the damsel in distress. I mean, Princess Peach does deserve some type of love in her own way. I mean, Luigi's got his game, Yoshi's gotten his game, Princess Peach should get something. Even Toad got his own game not too long ago, so that would be cool, but we're gonna get some more news later on down the line when they finally get closer to the 2024 release date. We'll see how that comes out. We also saw news of Dragon Quest Monsters getting a release date. It will be coming out December the 1st. That is also up for pre-order if you want to check that out, all the different retails and everything. I love the Dragon Quest games. They're just absolutely just fun to play. For all you RPG fans out there, check out that one. That is not going to be, we're going to be getting it close to December. So it's a good thing that we're getting so many games just this year alone. And this is just another one to the backlog, of course, as we all gonna be seeing. Now, moving back on to Sonic, we did see Sonic Superstars get a new gameplay trailer, and we got a chance to see Amy and all the different types of characters that we always gonna see. You see Sonic, you see Knuckles, and seeing all kinds of other characters that are gonna be coming to the game. But we don't have a full-blown release date. But apparently, there was news that just came out the other day saying that there is a apparent leak that Sonic Superstars is going to be releasing on October of this year. Now, no full official news drop has actually said that was to be true, but it is just a leak, so we'll find out maybe closer to the release date if it is coming out in October. We'll see how that plays out, but for right now, we don't have a definite release date. But Sonic Superstars look like it's going to be another amazing game. It kind of reminds me of Sonic Generation when that game came out years ago back on the what was it, the 360 and the PS3. That was just a wonderful game. This one looks like it's going to be cool as well. But on October, we might see this, so we'll catch that up as long as we keep up going with that and see how Sonic does. Batman Arkham Trilogy, the entire trilogy, the great Batman games that I have fallen in love with all these years, is also coming to the Switch. The entire 3 games with all the DLC content are making their way to the Switch. And I mean, hey, look, the Batman games, if you never played the Batman Arkham Trilogy, let me tell you something, you have been missing out. These are some of the best Batman games you will ever play in your entire life, and I literally mean that. They have gotten so many awards. They were highly acclaimed games. They deserve so much love and care. These games are going to be great. Now, of course, because of the fact that these games are very, very large in graphics and everything, we're going to more than likely see a lot of this game being put onto the Switch as a lot of downloads, so we'll see how that goes on. But of course, with all the other DLC content, we'll see how that plays out and seeing what the downloads codes will be and everything else like that. But that game will also be coming out this year as well. Star Ocean the Second R also was getting announced for this year. We'll be seeing that on November the 3rd. This was an original PS1 game that was just revolutionary into the Star Ocean series. Star Ocean the Second Story R was a great game back on the PlayStation 1, and it's nice to see that it is getting a full-blown remaster, or you can call it a remake. I consider it a remaster, but we'll be seeing this on November the 3rd, and it's going to be so good to finally get something like that. And maybe there's going to be a potential fact that if this game does well, we may see many other PS1 games get some, maybe get some remasters, some remakes down the line. But we'll see how that plays out when this game finally drops and see how well it does. But it looks absolutely amazing by the trailer. The 2D mixed with the 3D environments just looks amazing. It looks just phenomenal. And of course, the storyline and the way the game plays, the endings, everything looks like it's gonna be making its return on this one as well. Some other great games that also got announced during the Nintendo Direct. We got a chance to see a game called Penny's Big Breakaway. Fae Farm, a farm sim RPG, another family farm game, which we do not need. Silent Hope, Headbangers Rhythm Royal, Gloom Heaven, and Manic Mechanics. all look like they're going to be coming to the Switch, of course, this year. And we also got a chance to see the new Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 game that will be coming out in October. If you didn't play the first one, check out the first one. The Hot Wheels games are actually really, really fun. I was actually surprised at how much fun that game was. Let me tell you something. The Nintendo Direct this year, this go around, was actually really, really good. They spared no expense on having some of the best announcements. The biggest one for me was literally Super Mario RPG. And the reason why I'm gonna go into that detail as well is because there was reports showing that Chrono Trigger was supposedly going to be the remake that was going to get announced in this Nintendo Direct, and from what we saw and as we know, that didn't happen. But there is a potential factor that if Super Mario RPG is getting a 2D HD remake, the potential factor of Chrono Trigger getting one may be potentially in the works, and they might be holding that off for the next Direct. We don't know just yet. There were reports of that from some credible sources. Now, we still just don't know just yet. But if Chrono Cross can get it and get some type of remaster, Chrono Trigger deserves it more than anything. If you never played Chrono Trigger, let me tell you, Chrono Trigger is one of the greatest, it is literally, I'm telling you, is one of the greatest video games ever made, period. From the music, to the graphics, to the storyline, to the character development, to just having a bunch of different endings at the end. It just was a fabulous game. It was one of the cornerstones of RPGs. It's what is basically the reason some of the RPGs that we have to this day are as great as they are, because of Chrono Trigger. So we'll see. Maybe down the line they might do another Direct later down this year, of course, talking about a bunch of other games, but we just don't know just yet. We'll see how that goes on later down the line, but we'll see if Chrono Trigger does make a return, maybe this year, if not going into next year. Now, moving on to news of this week, we also got a chance to hear about something with Starfield. Now, there is also some controversy behind the game. We did see Starfield get a gameplay trailer during Xbox's showcase, and it's looking to be a phenomenal game. One of the big news things that came out about Starfield was that it was potentially going to be a PlayStation exclusive at one point. But with that being said about the whole situation with, Bethesda Studios, being aligned with Xbox now because of the buy-in, it's expected that this wasn't going to happen. But there are some people out there petitioning for Starfield to be put on PlayStation after all. Now, to all those PlayStation fanboys, I don't mean to sound, hateful towards you and nothing like that, but look, can you at least let us have one game on the Xbox? I can't stand sometimes when gamers get upset when a game becomes exclusive, and PlayStation has nothing but just exclusive characters. I mean, look at the list of games that PlayStation has under their radar and under their umbrella of just games. They have so many characters, so many games. Xbox does deserve to get one at least in there, but Starfield being a PlayStation exclusive, I don't see that was not a possibility. But now that this whole entire situation has happened with Bethesda getting bought up, and also, Activision Blizzard with this entire situation still under wraps and still going strong with the whole situation with that, hey, guess what? Too bad, so sad. But the other controversial news that came about Starfield was because of the fact that it is not going to be a physical game release, supposedly. Now, the news about this has been broken out because of a tweet that was supposedly saying that the game was not going to be physically made, and all physical editions of the game will have download codes in them instead of physical discs. There was a tweet that was out there, but the tweet has been long deleted. But you can go back on the Wayback Machine and actually see that tweet was actually made. And it was coming from Starfield and Bethesda's actual verified account. Now, with that news being there and a lot of people showing their backlash and their just pure hatred because of this going on, and me being a physical collector, and it does upset me, but it doesn't surprise me either, because we're going down the digital age now at this point with video games. There's just no escaping it. Games are going to be going to digital within the next few years. I see potentially in the next 5 years or so, games are going to be literally just straight up digital. I mean, at this point nowadays, video games, we don't own them anymore. We don't own video games. You buy the disc might have only so much data on it, and the rest of it's just a straight up download. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening at this point within the next few years that physical media will actually last in the video game market. And this news coming out with Starfield that it's all going to be physical games, that it's not going to actually happen. All the physical copies and things that you're going to be buying is all going to be download codes. It could potentially kill the game all on its own, and we'll see what that happens with. But because of the backlash that they probably gotten, the tweet has now been deleted from Twitter. We'll see what happens, and maybe they might change their mind. So we'll go from there, and we'll keep up with that, closer to the release date of that. Also, big news coming about, there's been some rumor mills coming about saying that the PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox will be coming out in 2028. I know it's kind of a far off stretch about talking about something like this because we just got the PlayStation 5 and we got the Xbox Series S and X just literally 2 years ago. So the fact that we're even talking about PlayStation 6 and a new Xbox kind of blows my mind a little bit, but I mean, we'll see what happens. We don't really need another console for a long time. The biggest thing we're going to be seeing in the next few years is literally going to be seeing Xbox and Sony making, maybe some slimmer consoles, maybe making a slimmer version of the Xbox Series X and a slimmer version of the PS5. We have been hearing reports about that, not too long ago, saying, hey, we're going to be seeing slimmer versions that might be more powerful. They don't generate as much heat, different things like that, but we just don't know just yet. But there have been already speculating, talking about when the new consoles will be coming out, and we may see them in the next 5 or so years coming into 2028. But other than that, just enjoy your consoles. The biggest consoles I want to see is, when is Nintendo going to drop a new Switch? And I know we all waiting for that one, but might I digress, that's news for another day. Other than that, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope there's so much you guys have taken from this. If you haven't done so, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, let you know when I drop a new video. Thank you guys for all the support and love. Also comment, let me know what news you've been excited for, what games you are waiting for this year from the Nintendo Direct, and if you're excited about Starfield or you have some dislike about the Starfield situation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, love God, love yourself. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next one. Holla at you later.